skyscraper on sand. And since our feet are the foundation for the rest of our body, if we aren't training our feet, we're leaving food on the table. Now, where I've seen the disconnect happen is athletes understand the importance, but actually implementing the habits on a consistent basis is another story. So by the end of this video, you'll have a list of over 30 barefoot stretches and exercises you can start using today that can help get you stronger, faster, more explosive, and more human. I've organized the movements into categories based on intensity. So whether you're brand new to training barefoot or have been at it for a while now, there'll be something in this video for you. I'm gonna walk you through how to do each movement, but before we get into it, I wanna preface this list with two very important things. One, these tiers are not set in stone. Something in level 2, if done at a high enough intensity, could be closer to level 3, or a low enough intensity closer to level 1. Number 2, buying into the importance of progressing at your own pace and understanding that the progress may not be linear. This list isn't a prescribed program. It's nothing more than a collection of my favorite movements that I've grouped into relative levels of intensity. Because of that, I'm not going to give specific sets and reps of these, but a generally smart way to go about it could be progressive overload. So for example, you could pick a movement and do 3 sets of 30 seconds twice a week. You could do that for 4 weeks, then crank it up to 3 times a week. Or maybe keep it at 2 times a week, but go 2 sets of 60 seconds. If that sounds too complicated, it's fine because the numbers don't matter a ton. The main thing is listening to your body. Everybody progresses at different rates. Everyone starts from a different place. So maybe you spend lots of time in level 2, then need to spend more time in level 1, or maybe you bounce back and forth between levels week by week or day by day. But it's this idea that more is not always better. I was almost hesitant to even refer to these as levels because it makes it seem like a video game and you're striving to move up and up and up. At the end of the day, these are just things that have worked for me and some of the guys that I've trained, but I don't have all the answers. So listen to your body and be smart about it. Now that we've laid that foundation, let's get to work. One of my favorites is foam rolling my feet. I've found it similar to doing some crazy workout and then waking up the next morning and having muscles that are sore that you didn't even know you had. When we foam roll our feet, we're taking care of these muscles, tendons, ligaments that often get neglected. So this can be great for waking up everything that's in your foot, which can help your feet help you on the court or whatever your domain is. I like using a lacrosse ball. You could also use a baseball, or I've seen people use a tennis ball. Again, just do whatever's talking to you nicely. I like going for 5 minutes on each foot. You could do something that you would do more consistently. It's really up to you. This one is great for all levels. So if you're brand new, this is awesome. Even if you're a high level college professional athlete, you can still gain an insane amount of benefit from doing this. Now on to level 1.
Now, level 1 is great if you're brand new to the barefoot game, but even if you're a vet, there's tons of gems in here that can provide a lot of benefit. So if you are brand new to it, a great way to start is just getting barefoot in the house. A lot of times our socks can sometimes be restrictive, so even just getting out the socks when we're at the crib chilling can be great. Another one of my favorite stretches is sitting on our heels. So I'm here. If this becomes too much weight, I can offload some of that weight onto my hands and kind of move around. I like shifting my weight to my big toe. That feels really good for me. I have heard a lot of compelling arguments against static stretching. Their point being it's important after gaining access to those ranges of motion to then make it sticky via being strong in that range of motion. So some things we can do are towel grabs. So I'm standing here on my towel and then I'm grabbing the towel with my feet. After you do a certain number, you'll probably feel a good burn. Another one we can do is toe lifts. So my feet are flat on the ground. The grass is kind of hiding my toes, but we'll figure it out. Now I'm gonna lift both of my big toes up, set them down, and then all of my other toes lift up. And I'm gonna alternate back and forth. Some people can lift each toe individually. I do not have it like that yet. Other people can't even do that. So like all 5 toes are lifting up at the same time. If that's where you're at, that's fine. Just doing that can provide a lot of benefit as well. Let's turn to the whiteboard and see what's next. We're gonna go through a balance progression. So again, strengthening that range of motion. And then we're getting those stabilizing muscles in a good spot. So for some people, just standing on one foot is difficult enough. And if that's where you're at, that's fine. Just stay there. You can then touch the ground from here. So I could touch in front. Hey, I could touch to the left or to the right. These next progressions I got from PJF Performance on YouTube. Great content, go check them out. So I can stand on one foot with my eyes closed. What this does, see, it's even difficult doing it for that short amount of time. So what this does is when we're trying to maintain our balance with our eyes open, we rely very heavily on our visual, what we're seeing, to orient and calibrate our body and where we are in space. So now when we close our eyes, we have to rely on different information. So maybe it's that 87th tendon in our foot, that little micro spot that we have to now tap into to orient, calibrate, and stay on balance. So if this is challenging enough, you can stay here. You can then open your eyes back up. You can look to the right, to the left, go back and forth. You can add a third stop, so I can look right, I can look straight in front, and then to the left, back to 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. And then the last 2 is I can do both of these with my eyes closed. Extremely difficult for me, losing my balance. That's how I know we're in the right spot. Then we can go a walking calf raise. So we're walking, calf raise, hence the name. Again, you can push through that big toe. There's lots of studies that show how important our big toe is for being explosive. So emphasizing pushing through that big toe can be a game changer. Then we have a toe walk, so we're walking on our toes. Again, pushing through that big toe. And then we can walk on our heels. And then another one, which is essential even for, I've had high-level college athletes gain a ton of benefit from this, is animal flow. So I showed a couple clips of Wemby doing this earlier in the video, but it's where you're on your hands and your feet. And then from here, there's a lot of different stuff you can do. So you could just walk forward. You could walk backwards. You could walk to the left, to the right. If you YouTube animal flow, there's a bunch of different and crazy options and ways to move that you can do. 2 of my favorite are I'm here and then it's opposite hand, opposite foot. So I'm gonna kick my foot through, open up, and then go back to where I started and then do it on the other side. And then I can just go back and forth from there. My other favorite is, so I'll get here and then my foot and my hand are gonna be as far apart from each other as possible. So I'll kick my foot through like this, and then I'm gonna pull it back and then reach forward here, and then kick my foot through and just go back and forth. So again, if you're a beginner, this is great. If you're an elite level athlete, this is amazing for the hips, shoulder mobility, all that good stuff. Last one on level 1 is lifting. So freeing the dogs when you're lifting, I'm not sure if Planet Fitness would be a fan of you doing that. But depending on your situation, maybe instead of lifting in your shoes, you're lifting in your socks. Maybe even in just a setting like this. So I could be barefoot, and if I have dumbbells, that's fine, or just my body weight. I can do some squats, I can do some lunges, I can go to the side. So we're finding ways to get force into our feet, absorb and produce force without being insanely explosive. Moving on, to level 2. So this will be a lot of low-level plyometrics, which are low intensity for larger amounts of time. So something we could do is pogo hops. So it's like I'm jumping rope, but without the jump rope. I could go in place, I could go forward, I could go back, I could go to the left, I could go to the right, but it's those quick hops, quick pops on and off the ground. Then we could skip, just like we're a kid on a playground, we could skip. And again, a lot of these in level 2, I could raise the intensity and make it closer to a level 3, even a level 4 if I really wanted to. So just gauge where your body's at based on what you're feeling and then adjust the intensity accordingly. So skips, we could slide, working in this frontal plane, so just a side-to-side movement can work different muscles in our feet that we may not necessarily target when we're moving in the sagittal plane, so forward and back. So skips are good, slides are good, karaoke is good, we're here with it, the classic. One of my staples is karaoke turns. So every third step, I'm gonna flip 180 degrees. So I'll go the first 2 steps of karaoke, 1, 2, and then I'll flip 3, and now I'm facing this way. And then I'll go the first 2 steps of karaoke, 1, 2, flip, 1, 2, flip, 1, 2, flip. And we'll keep going just like that. Now I'm gonna walk closer to the camera so I can see the whiteboard and see what's next. Now, another great one for challenging our coordination and just overall movement ability is skipping sideways, but we can't cross our feet. So we're keeping the skip pattern, but we're gonna move to the side and we cannot cross our feet. So again, kind of some low level impact, absorbing low level force into the ground, and it's a great way to challenge the coordination. Another chef's kiss coming up right here. This is one of my favorites. So wide receiver freestyling. So pick a boundary. It could be narrow, it could be super wide, and essentially you just spam and change your directions. So again, adjust whatever intensity you need, but I'm here, I'm changing. I can change pace, I could spin, changing the footwork up, mixing up how you change direction is a cheat code no matter what level you're at. For hoopers, what I love doing is it's the same idea, but you are essentially freestyle dribbling without the basketball. I love this because sometimes the basketball can be the limiting factor in how we handle it. So we're so worried about not losing the basketball. So what you just got done watching was recorded about a week ago, and then the phone overheated, so we had to pick it back up today. Also, we don't have the mics, but no excuses. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. Shout out to my brother Houston behind the camera, making it run smooth. So, I'm gonna use my projecting voice and shout so that y'all can still hear me. So what I was saying was sometimes when we're dribbling the basketball, we're so worried about not losing it. So when we take the ball away, it's easier to get into these shifty positions, shift our weight that we might not normally be able to get into. Now's a good time to, I feel like I'm shouting. Now's a good time to point out the fact that you can do all of these with your eyes closed. So we talked about eyes closed earlier with the balance, and all those benefits still apply to everything in level 2. So you could freestyle dribble with your eyes closed. The proprioception, so spatial awareness, and just physical qualities that it's training are elite. So you can do those with your eyes closed. Another one we can do is single leg hops. So you're hopping in a straight line. Oh, let me back up actually. So we're getting those quick ground contacts, quick pops on and off the ground. You can do the same thing, but going Euro steps. So going at these 45-degree angles. Just like a Euro step, but off one leg. You can essentially combine those, so freestyle hops off one foot. So you could go like jump rope. You could go big hops. You could go small hops. You could go side, back, and you're just freestyling, getting jiggy. Next, you can do gazelle bounds. So this is another great way to challenge your coordination and overall just movement ability. So you're gonna pick a foot to jump on, and then you're gonna land on the opposite foot. And you're just gonna do that over and over again. I feel like a kid. It feels super fun for me. Again, a great way to be explosive, to train your explosiveness and your coordination. Now, level 3 is called the Combine MVP. The reason it's called that is because these are going to be a lot of max output jumps. So just like in the Combine, you got the little stick thing, and you're here, and that's what we're doing for a lot of these. So that's one. You could do a standing max vert jump. You could do a max approach jump. So instead of standing, you have a couple steps head start. So I could go 1, 2, up. And then what's important here is to get as many different approaches as you can, or just get all of them essentially. So I just went left, right, up. Then I'm gonna go right, left, up. I could do the same thing jumping off one foot, so left foot and right foot. Then we can go back to standing and then jump, turn, and flip 180 degrees. So if I were to face this way, like so, and then you could turn both ways. Knee tuck jumps are a great one. So you could do these standing, bang. You could also do them off the approach, bang, things of that nature. These last two are somewhat like coordination stuff, but you're still trying to get that max output. So standing and then cheerleader jumps. So jump, touch your toes out here, bang, and then you could do the same thing out in front. So again, level 3 is a bunch of max effort type of jumps. For some people, you might wake up the next morning feeling more sore doing level 2 stuff than level 3. It just depends. Listen to your body, and let's move on to level 4.
So level 4, you're full go. Barefoot sprints are one of my favorite workouts to do. The basketball court isn't big enough to reach a true max sprint, so it's great for hoopers and humans in general. The ankle stiffness and coordination that it builds are elite. We're striking the ground with a ton of force in such a short amount of time. It's the same springiness we need on the court to run, jump, and change direction. Another tool we can use are barefoot shoes. I personally am a huge fan of barefoot shoes. I got these bad boys back in 2021, thinking I'd bring them out every now and then, but I fell in love with them and now it's all I wear. Barefoot shoes are exactly what they sound like. Most have a 0 drop, so instead of a bunch of cushion on the bottom, barefoot shoes keep you low to the ground with a minimal and flexible sole. They also have a wider toe box to let your toes spread out compared to most other shoes that look more like a triangle at the top. To me, it just makes sense to have shoes that allow my feet to function like a foot. At the end of the day though, they're a tool. Just like everything else we've talked about in this video that you can use when and how it's beneficial to you. The brand I've been rocking the most for 4 years now is Zero Shoes. They got athletic shoes, dressier type of shoes, and as of recently, they're the makers of the first barefoot basketball shoe to be worn in an NBA game. As I was making this video, I reached out to them and they were awesome enough to send me a pair of their X1 lows. And despite this clip of Brady putting me in a blender, I really enjoyed wearing them. This is me bending my everyday shoe from zero. It's very easy to do so, and I could fold it and put it in my pocket if I wanted to. This is a normal hooping shoe, and I gotta try pretty hard to bend it just a little. And this is the X1 Low, which to me is the perfect in between. It felt sturdy and supportive enough to decelerate to change direction. And to stop on a dime with my full intent. But it was also malleable enough to have full flexibility in my ankle to get into positions like this. Just like regular barefoot shoes, the X1s have a wide toe box and a zero drop. This allowed me to feel really grounded, connected to my environment, and confident in my base, which made shots like these noticeably easier where my feet are farther apart than normal. And on this one where my momentum took me backwards more than I anticipated, which caused my feet to be closer together. Because of the zero drop, the next morning I was feeling it in my heel a bit from striking my heel into the ground like this. To me, that's less about the shoe and more so the theme we keep circling back on in this video of progressing in a way that's smart for you. Like I said, I've been wearing barefoot shoes for 4 years. I've been taking walks barefoot, so I may be at a different starting point than other people watching this video. If you get the hooping shoes, maybe you start wearing them when you're just shooting around by yourself for a couple weeks, then run the ones in them. It'll look different for each person, but barefoot shoes are a tool I personally am a huge fan of. Also, a big thank you to Zero Shoes for sending me a pair of their X1s. I've been rocking their shoes for a while now, so this was pretty cool. They use footwear to help humans be more human, which is awesome. And the team over there are really genuine and happy people, which is even cooler. If you want to check it out, I have an affiliate link in the description, so I get a little kickback off anything you order, which helps support the channel. And if you have any questions, they have customer happiness agents who are real easy to get in contact with. Also, their X2 is dropping soon, so be on the lookout for that. At the end of the day though, like I said, these are just tools. So just like everything else, listen to your body and use this tool when and if you feel it's beneficial. So there you have it. Over 30 barefoot tools you now have at your disposal to help become the best athlete and human you can possibly be. Listen to your body, progress at your own pace, and let's go dominate.
Let's go!